Hey going everyone, welcome to This Is the Story of My Life, episode whatever we're up to. What an interesting week it's been, last few days. This weekend for me, I've walked about 16, 17 hours of walking for the Pokemon Go Fest event. I don't usually pay for in-game stuff, but this one was worth it. I ended up getting about 52 shinies. Even some of the rarest ones that you can't even get anymore after today, which I'm very happy with. My legs are killing me, my ankles are killing me, my back's killing me, but it was a very exciting event. I would have loved to have done it with my partner, but you know the story there. Because I think it would have been a lot of fun, me and her, like competition wise. It would have been fun. I don't regret what I said in the last vid. I know you guys got offended, and I don't give a fuck, to be honest. I said exactly how it was. I don't think the chapter will close between me and her, sadly, until she decides for it to end, which, could be years. But, I'm not going to... sit and wait for her to make up her mind about, when she wants to be an adult and stuff. I'm going to, move on with my life and move forward. I mean, at the end of the day, we never broke up, so that means that if she did decide to get a boyfriend, she'd be cheating on him and me. It also means that if I ever got a girlfriend, I'd be cheating on her. So, it's not a nice way to think of it, but, it's not like it's anything I can do, because she is a selfish bitch and she will never grow up. She will never become the woman she's supposed to be. I feel sorry for her, to be honest, like knowing that she's going to be controlled by her family and her parents for the rest of her life. And she'll never be able to have the finer things in life and be treated like a princess. She'll always be stuck in a two bedroom place, and it's just, she wants to live in filth, a house that stinks and always messy. She wants to live with someone that she can't even get along with, someone that spies on her and watches her every move. I mean, that's pretty sad when you do look at it from that perspective. She'll never be able to move on with her life, and I think that's sad because when you really love someone, you want what's best for them, and that's not what's best for her. What's best for her would be to grow up, move out of home, and be independent and live by herself like she was, not have people, watch her all the time. And she should learn to stand on her own 2 feet and not listen to people that are lying to her. She should not listen to the people that are telling her, that she's not worth it. She gets treated basically like a child, and I don't know how anyone at that age can accept that as their lifestyle. My female friend stated, it's not fair that she got treated like royalty and you got treated like shit. If you treated any girl the way you treated her, you'd find your princess. Maybe that's true, but she's become the person that she's become, like I said in the last vid, and unfortunately, if that's not true, any of the stuff I said, well then she better tell me. Otherwise, the world can think she is who she is, and if I was in her playbook, I'd be like, okay, let's get one thing straight, Andre. I am not I have not why not get the truth out there? I've got the truth out there on many vids on my YouTube. I tell it like it is. I'm not a person that goes for likes. Fuck off. I'd rather have a dislike. And that's why I was so happy to see 4 dislikes in the last vid. Let's try and make it 5 for this vid. So I've got to start saying stuff to make you guys dislike, don't I? It was the people that disliked it was because they knew the raw truth. They knew that, that they're bad friends. Some of them. They knew that they were full of shit. They knew that, they didn't want me happy, and it goes for the same as her family and her. You know, none of them wants what's best for us. They just want what's best for them. Now, they use her so bad. And she knows she gets used, but I think she just doesn't care at the end of the day, because she's always been a believer of, she doesn't like conflict. She doesn't like, arguing the point. It's like one time at McDonald's, they messed up our meal. And, I said, they've messed up our meal, and they've overcharged you. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was like a $5-10 difference. We're not talking cents here. We're talking like $5 to $10 difference in the price. So I was like, fuck this. I went up. Not only did I get her money back, and I got the meal for free. The fact that she would let, stuff like that go because she doesn't want to cause conflict, that means that she never wants to grow up and be her independent woman self. Like, most women, they want to, have the fairy tale life, like, have their own house, have a shitload of handbags and shoes, have their partner treat them like a princess and fucking, get them away from the family. She's not even, like, close to being a princess. I was making her one. I was making her, like, stand on her own 2 feet. I was making her realize, the things she has, in life. Most of it's because of me. Like, you don't, stop loving someone after 11 years. I didn't stop loving her for 11 years. I mean, the fact that we, lived together for 6 years, I got to see a lot of things that she didn't see. Like, I got to see how they treated her. I got to see how, her world was going. And I knew that the day that if we ever did break up, she'd be back as a slave again, back as a puppet on her strings. Because she just doesn't want to grow up. She doesn't want to stand on her own 2 feet. Like, if it wasn't for her family, she wouldn't be doing the catalogs. If it wasn't for her, stepfather and mother, she wouldn't even be in the house she's in. They've all done that for her. And this is why I say, maybe they're blackmailing her, saying, if you stick up for Andre, you don't get to live in the house you're in. You don't get the house when we pass away or something. We'll take away your pets. There's something just not right, because, see, my partner, when I proposed to her, she was a dedicated partner to the end. She was a girl that was loving, kind, and caring. This new version of her, it's quite the opposite. Cold-hearted bitch. Sleeps around with people, Like I said, the rumors of drugs, the alcohol was getting stupid. Hey, at least I'm an alcoholic. I admit it. Because of her, I'm an alcoholic. And I bet some of you didn't know that. I never was. See, before all this, I may have had a drink once a week. Just to calm down, relax, chill, celebrate. She was drinking a lot before this, but I slowed her down and said, hey, if you want to drink around me, because I know what you're like, you're a very emotional person. And I could look out for her and protect her. And now I can't even do that because, her family are probably force feeding it down her. And it is quite sad, she's probably gone off the wagon too, so I can't protect her. And you think her family would be the ones that, would be like, shouldn't be drinking. No, they're the ones that shove alcohol right in front of her to drink. Her whole family are a bunch of alcoholics, just alcoholics, and all they want to do is drink. The acorn doesn't fall too far from the tree. And I didn't want her to be in that sort of environment where, there's drinking, there's debauchery, there's fucking, lies. It's like a cult in some ways. They want you to believe everything they say, and they want you to, be under their watch 24/7, so to speak. I hated the fact that, some nights, I'd just be lying in bed, and they know where she is, but they still have to give her a call. Like, what's she up to? What are you doing? Excuse my fucking French, but you know where she is. Does it matter what she's up to? She's a grown adult, and you're ringing up asking how she is? Fuck's sakes. like some nights, I think there was calls at bloody like 11 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, and you think, you know exactly where she is, you know who she's with, it doesn't matter. It's like my parents don't ask me for that shit, you know, when I'm with my partner, if I'm at her place. I'm like, that's so fucking rude. Always keeping an eye on her. So they treat her like a bloody, like, you know, 16-year-old, 15-year-old. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. The fact that every one of her brothers and sisters, except for one, not old enough to drive, all have a license, but she's not allowed to. And the fact that, you know, they have to have control of her bank account and see what goes in and out. Oh, come on. No one, when you turn 18, no one should have control of your bank account but you. It's called growing the fuck up. And if you have a bad spending problem, we'll then cut it down. Because I just think that's a load of shit where that much control no one should have. And you may say, well, Andre, how the hell does she, you know, live like that? It's her life. That's what she's had all her life, and that's what, sadly, you know, I blame the fact that they took away her father from her, because he was a decent guy, and I feel that if he was like in the picture, she would have had that stable life. She would have had a better life. But, you know, they brainwash her and control her, and it's quite sad. Like, I do want her to have a better life, to be honest, but she's never going to have that life until she realizes, hey, this is going on. Look, I state the obvious on my Facebook and YouTube vids. I tell it like it is. I tell you what I see, and I say it like it is. Like, sure, you know, the old me would have said, you know, I wouldn't have picked her over a skinny girl, because I was a pig. I liked skinny girls, and I would choose them over a bigger girl. But the fact that I fell in love with this woman and was still in love with her until recently, I still am, you know, I'm not going to, despite what I said in the other vid, you know, 11 years isn't something that just goes away. As I was telling my bartender mate last night, because I went and got pissed at the bar, he said to me, and even the female waitress said, you guys look like a perfect couple, you know, you shouldn't be going through this, you should be together. And I was so upset. Even the female waitress came up and gave me a hug. I asked her, I said, look, can I just have a hug? I know if you'll get in trouble. She's like, no, I'll give you a hug. So I'm like, thank you. And she gave me a hug, and I was so happy to get a hug from her. Cute waitress. But you know, at the end of the day, I do not know what's going on in my partner's life. I do not know what they've told her. Like, don't get me wrong, I know what she does Sunday to Wednesday night, but it's like, is she doing it on her own at her house, or is she doing it in front of her parents at their place? You know, like, surely you're old enough to, like, be able to stay away from your parents and, you know, do your job properly. And it's like some nights where I find it funny that she's supposed to be doing her own job, and sometimes we'll go up there and like a job's nearly finished by her mum. I'm like, that's not growing up. That's not teaching people the skills of life. You're supposed to do everything yourself. And, you know, some nights, you know, we'd go up there on a Sunday and the catalogues would still be outside. And if it was raining, you know, you think her sister would bring them inside the house? Nope. That was how lazy her sister was. Like, you'd go there and it's pouring down with rain and the catalogues are still outside. Think about getting wet, right? Which means they're heavy to carry in. And if they're getting wet, you know, when you're folding them, you know, they'll fall to pieces. So, you know, stuff like that, I was just like, are you fucking serious? Like, how the fuck can you live with someone that's fucking lazy? You know, it's called being a family member and helping one another. That's not helping, leaving the catalogs for her to do it. And it's like, and you know, it's funny because my partner was paying more rent than her sister, because I don't know how that works for some reason. So every time, like, you know, I would sleep over, her sister would deliberately park behind me. And it's like, you're doing that deliberately to piss me off. And like, I just thought stuff like that was disgusting. Because if she was home before me, the sister, I would not park behind her. I'd park on the lawn, because then that way at least, you know, she can get in and out when she wants. But yeah, when I you know, go and park in the driveway, yep, sister has to deliberately park. And then one time we had this argument where, you know, I needed to go home, and her sister like, no, I'm not getting up, not budging, no, stiff shit. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. And like I swear to God, like stuff like that, it just gets you like on your nerves. You're like, how can you be so fucking nasty to your sister's partner? Like, did I ever do anything wrong by her? Nope, not once. And I think the thing that upset me a lot is the fact that that sister is lazy too. You know, the sister, you know, she can't move out of home either, because she likes the fact that, you know, my partner was paying the rent, more rent. We knew how that was going. And, you know, you think this woman would cook or clean. No. In fact, her sister would go to her parents' place and see what they've cooked and eat their food. How fucking selfish that. You don't go and eat, you know, go back to your house where you're supposed to be cooking, you're supposed to be cleaning. She never did shit, the sister. I mean, that house was the most disgusting house I've been in for smell wise. Like, and her own sister doesn't even clean up her room. Like, her sister's in her 20s and doesn't even fucking clean her room. Like, you open the door and you can't even walk in the door because there's clothes all over the floor. You know, the smell that comes from that room, the bed itself, like, it looks so disgusting. I don't reckon the mattress has been cleaned in years. There's food scraps in there, there's rubbish in there, and you couldn't even tell what's clean or dirty in there. And then makes things worse, I'm just trying to stretch my leg because I got cramp. The thing that makes it worse, here's the funny part. When she does eventually get her clean washing, she leaves it in the fucking hallway for fucking months. And it just sits there in the hallway in a basket, and it just piles up and piles up because she can't put it in her room. That's her sister for you. And you got to believe that that's how they live. It's called living like pigs. And I don't know how people can live like that. If I was a girl, the first thing I would be like is clean my fucking room. You know, if male company's coming or any company's coming, you want your room clean. You know, you don't want people to think you live in a pigsty. But more so, like, I can't understand how the parents let them get away with it. Like, if I was the parents, I'd be like, hey, you live in my fucking house. Yes, you pay rent, but you're treating it like a shithole. Clean up after yourselves, because it's the family that, you know, has made it the way it is. You know, I would be like, if that was my tenant, like, fucking, you know, leaving his shit all over the floor and stuff and making the house smell and that, fucking hell, I'd be like, hey, you want to live like that? Pay me more rent. But they've always used my partner, the family. They've always made her do all the shit jobs and made her do all the... And that's why, like, if I had the power, I would get her own house. Just for her and her cats to live in, and that way, at least, she has no one to answer to. She has her freedom, and she has a clean house. You know why it will be clean? Because I'll be helping her clean it. And she gets away from that toxic environment from her sister. She gets away from that toxic environment from her family. And she'd have a better life. But now, she's going to live that life, living in a pigsty, expecting people to treat her like a child and never grow up. I hope she quits her job down here, because I don't want her working down here anymore. I stated that in the last vid. And you may say, well, that if she's passionate about her job, why would you make her quit her job if she's so passionate about it? Especially if she's, you know, volunteering and helping kids. I look at it like this. You can, you know, apply for any op shop / you know, whatever you call it. You can volunteer in any place. So why does it have to be 5 minutes up the road from my place? You come, it's 30 minutes difference if you drive. But she doesn't drive down here. She has to take a train and a bus to come down here. And she doesn't even get paid. And that doesn't even put food on the table. So, you're saying to me that you want that to be a job for the rest of your life when you should start thinking about the future, start getting a proper job. And the catalogs job doesn't even give her much anyway. I could literally afford to pay for her not to do it. In fact, if she was getting say $100 a week from the catalogs, I'd give her 150 so she can go out and buy something nice for herself. Whatever she makes, I'd give her more, because that's what a partner does. So then that way I don't have to see my partner, struggle to 2-3 a.m. in the morning, and then coming to bed and then getting up at 6-7 in the morning to deliver. It was a horrible life for her for what she was making. It was just, I always was upset and I was crying because I didn't want her to go through that. But that's her life. Her life is basically consists of doing catalogs Sunday night to Wednesday night, then volunteering Friday and Saturday. Where's the me time? On Thursday with her fake boyfriend that doesn't exist, that could exist. We don't even fucking know, because she won't say anything, will she? When will I see her again? I think it's going to be soon. I think she'll get this sorted out once and for all, because I know she probably doesn't want me coming on YouTube every week and bad-mouthing her and her family. I know she probably doesn't want me, saying all this shit, but stiff shit. You made your bed, you lie in it. So yeah, I'm going to get a heat pack on my back and my legs because it's sore. Certainly get some ice for my drink. But yeah, we've all got to grow up in life, and hopefully she finds her calling in life and she grows up. And she needs to end this shit between us. If she wants a full breakup and move on with her life, she's got to do it properly. If not, she's a lying, cheating whore until she does. But that's her choice. I mean, if I was her, and I talked to my best friend about this, she even said, I don't know how you handle it, Andre, because if I was in your situation, the first thing I'd do is demand her to tell you yes or no if you're going out, and demand answers. Restraining order or not. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, my best friend, she's got a great partner, and I look at them as, I had a relationship like what they've got. But the only thing I would say that I would change is me letting shit drag on for this long. I think I should have stopped it ages ago before this shit happened. I think we should have, gone to counselling. I mean, she stated to our mutual friends months into this, I don't hate Andre. I'm not scared of him. I just want him to, get his life back on track. I want him to, get his problems fixed and become a better person. And I did. For what? Nothing. She wanted all this change and I did it for her, and then it means nothing. Take away the anger and the depression, because the reason why I'm that is because I'm in limbo. That's the only reason. Otherwise I'd be happy, Health's not so good. And she's partly to blame for it. But, when the day does come and I meet my maker up in heaven, you can all blame her. You can all blame her. So, I'm glad I said that. I'm just looking at the Smirnoff vodka bottle there. So tempting. Number 21 vodka. I do not even know what that means. So thanks all for watching. The chili chip challenge, as we said, is underway. Whoa, those second packet that I've eaten. Wait till you see that. Whoa. It was it was I'm not going to give away anything, but they were, yeah, a bit different to the first ones, that's for sure. So yeah, I've got to lie down because my back's killing me, and I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye and good night.